Good evening, our viewers, and welcome to another episode of your daily show Achievements. I'm your host, Abdulatif Al-Anizi, and I have with me my colleague, Fatma Al-Hajri. Good evening, Fatma.
Good evening, Abdulatif, and good evening, dear viewers. This is your show Achievements, where we talk about different topics with different guests. So stay tuned after this report.
A successful identity is built on things a person has done. Your most important accomplishments are a very important way for you to measure your success. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can look at a person's achievements to figure out how successful they are. Most of the time, putting in a lot of work pays off. Most people think a successful life is one of a lot of things to be proud of. When you finish a task, you win over problems or other people. Achieve means to work together to reach a hard and challenging goal. Everyone should be ready to help out and work together if they need to. There are many ways to reach your goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will pay out in your life. In their careers, some people want to get rich and will be well known. Some people think that even small victories are reasons to have a party. We're all different, so we all have our own thoughts on everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that ultimate goal.
Welcome back, our dear viewers. Tonight we're having with us one of the most successful individuals right here in Kuwait. He's known as a drag racer. His achievements not just in Kuwait but all around the Middle East as well. To achieve what he has already achieved, you have to be brave and fearless. Please welcome with us the Kuwaiti champion, Mr. Sulaiman Al-Fadl. Welcome, Mr. Sulaiman.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's our pleasure to have you here with us.
Thanks. Pleasure is mine.
Pleasure. Thank you for being here, and it was really nice to meet you and to see you here with us at the show. But first things first, we would love to know about your early steps on this field and how did you start as a drag racer?
Well, as a drag racer, I started in '97, but at early stages, it was when my father got me a go-kart, small buggy, and at an early age, around 9-10 years old. And that's when the passion started for driving and then racing. In 1997, I was studying in the States, and this is where I started, let's say, the pro life of a racer, where I started racing in the States. And after that, I graduated and went to the pro line on the drag racing career.
I think that's very interesting that you actually started this passion at a very young age. So you think that your home background affected you, that your dad, when he brought you the go-kart, this kind of triggered something for you for drag racing?
Definitely, yes, because, usually parents give the option to their children to choose their hobbies and their passions and things like that. He taught me a lot of things, and most of my hobbies and passions I got them on early stages. The drag racing continued with me, with other hobbies, of course, but I went deeper into this. And if I can talk a little bit about the history of that, I became a mechanical engineering because of the passion of this.
That's very interesting.
It's really good when you have something to do that's connected, your hobby, the things that you will love to do, with your career and with your life.
Yep.
Which is
of
mechanical
course.
engineering.
And he can actually work on his car by himself. I think that's
Yeah.
this is an amazing thing usually for even drag racers, to be a mechanical engineer as well, to know how to model your car, fix any errors if there are any errors, improve
not
it
bring
in
someone-
different ways.
Yeah. Not
I
bring
think
someone and also maybe steal you and say no, it's takes a lot
you know
more
your
money.
way around it,
Yeah.
of course.
Which is
Absolutely
more
correct,
more
yes.
interesting. So what made you to choose this path, which is a drag race? Why you didn't choose something else?
Well, it's not a choice that you choose. I can tell you it chose me. I did not choose it, you know, because it's a passion and it's a way of life. It's not something that I say I want to be a drag racer. It came with life experience, with life motivation from the family, from friends, from all over. And that's what continued my career to become an engineer, mechanical engineer. And then after I became mechanical engineer, I worked, but I did not leave the hobby away. You know, it continued with me. I've been in this hobby for over 20 years now, over 25 years, you know. On
That's a lot of
yeah.
time.
Which is fun also,
So
right?
it is fun. It is, people think it's fearless and dangerous. I would say not really, because when you race in a contained environment, it will be very safe. And when you say fearless, no, you have to fear. If you don't fear, you'll do mistakes. If you don't be careful, you'll get in trouble. So we have to be cautious, we have to be precise, we have to be on target. You know, you don't have to go and do things out of macho, you know, being strong. Yeah, I can do that. No, you have to go follow the rules to be safe and to win.
Of course, I think following the rules and regulations is very important, especially in this kind of sports. You really need to be, like, you shouldn't be reckless. A lot of people, sometimes they're reckless. They don't fear, as you mentioned.
Yep.
So, of course, when it comes to your first race, can you tell us about it? What was it like? Where were you exactly?
Okay, when you say first race, there is a lot of first race. First race as a kid, first race as a professional race.
First drag race.
We'd like to know
First
all
drag
about
race,
them.
I would say in the state. It was 1997.
And
it was
the
on
first-
a manual transmission, not a professional like now. It was on a Ford Mustang 93, and at that time, you know, we used to do like a 12 second, and it was a wow. It was a very fast car. You reach 200 km on a 400 meters. Now we're going 300 on a 200 meters, you know. So from 12 second to 4 second, there is a big difference, a big speed,
Yeah.
very strong G-force, and a lot of changes happened from 97 to
I mean,
today.
yes, exactly. I mean, if you bring the cars from these days, the drag race cars, to compete against the cars 25 years ago, the difference will be like
Exactly.
they will go back and forth before that car reach the 100
It
kilometers.
looks like you came from outer space. You're not racing from this
Yeah,
world. Yeah, you're
it's like a
absolutely
rocket.
right. Yes.
So, but of course, when it comes to that speed, it's dangerous. You just told us that it's not that dangerous, but we would love to know. At some level, it is dangerous. Can you tell us how dangerous is it?
Well, everything is, you know, every sport has a danger in it. But if you follow the safety rules, and that's what we tell everybody else, you know, if you want to race, come to the racing track. It's a contained place where there is the medical staff, there is the marshals, and for us to build a car, you know, the cars cost a lot. 40% of the car value is put into safety, from the roll cage, from the parachutes, from the brakes, from the fire extinguishing system in the car, in case, God forgives, that a fire happens, there is a system that you just pull the knob and it will extinguish itself automatically. So yeah, I can say it is safe. There is dangers, but it is safe. You know, we have to follow the safety to be safe. Now, if you do it on the street, it will not be safe. If you do it on a track, definitely the track layouts, the car, the chutes, the crew behind you taking care of you. Of course, this everybody thinks it's not a team. It's just the driver and drives. No, it's a teamwork.
Yes.
Every eye counts on the race. You know, so.
And there's also, I think, the fire defense.
Yes,
And there's
yes.
also an ambulance.
Ambulance, fire defense, and the marshals of the track, and also your team. They all take care of the safety aspect. If one drop of water drops under the car, they will disqualify it and take it off just to make you safe.
I think that's very good that they have all these strict regulations and all these safety procedures, even like for the family members who are watching their kids, their brothers, their siblings. They can feel at ease when they're sharing in these championships of drag race. Of course, it can be very hard sometimes being worried about them. So these kind of safety procedures really help a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course. So when it comes to the championships that you participated in, can you tell us some of them?
Well, thanks God, I had a lot of championships in and out of Kuwait. This year was a great year for us in racing. We had like 12 races. I had 5 trophies from them, thanks God. And I've raced in the Bahrain circuit, and I had some trophies there, good achievements. Qatar circuit, and I had some good achievements also. And in Kuwait, we had around 8 trophies.
That's very impressive. You had a lot of
Yes,
trophies.
A lot of trophies. I mean, there's 12 races, and you won 5.
And
Yeah,
he
5
mentioned
trophies.
8 as well. I think that's very impressive because I think you're very passionate about what you do. I think this is the most important thing, because if you're passionate about something, you're going to excel at it.
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
But it's not only the passion, it's the passion and teamwork. I will always say that. People do not know how much your team values you. You know, my life is in their hand. That's true, that's a fact. If anyone does a mistake,
You'll be gone on the wind.
Yeah, but hopefully you have a very good team, and
Definitely.
they are
And
really
that's the
taking care of
achievement.
you.
The achievement's not the driver or the car.
It's the team.
I would say 70% on the team, 10% on the driver, 20% on the car. You can put any driver with a good team, and he will do a good result and give you a good trophies on that.
Of course, we still have much more questions for you, but we will take a short break, dear viewers, and watch this report. Stay tuned.
Sulaiman Al-Fadl. Sulaiman Al-Fadl is a Kuwaiti drag racer. He found himself in this hobby and continues working on to improve himself in it. Sulaiman also works on different car engines. For instance, he takes a certain car and turns its engine into a faster version.
Okay, let's take a look at the factory that makes the champions, where the dreams become reality. This is where I work with my team and start building all my projects from scratch. As you can see, this is our humble workshop. It has the welding, the machinery, and the engine building.
He has also worked on many projects that include small and large cars, where he switched them into drag cars. During his drag race journey, he has been able to meet a lot of people from all over the world. Sulaiman has had the chance to meet one of the street outlaws legend, Doc, who is the owner of Street Beast. Moreover, Sulaiman has also participated in many tournaments. In the tournaments, drag racers enjoy a fast race, where their speed is timed in order to define the winner. The fastest drag racer with the shortest period of time is usually the winner. It is certainly a challenge, and racers strive to win. In addition, Sulaiman has participated in many races in Kuwait and abroad. He has been able to participate in a drag race competition in the Kingdom of Bahrain. During this competition, he gained a lot of experience and has been able to meet competitors from all over the world. Sulaiman also represented our beloved country Kuwait by being a Kuwaiti participant in the competition and also having Kuwait's flag on his car. This is certainly an act that gives us a lot of pride. Sulaiman has been able to win many competitions. He is a strong competitor and always works hard to achieve his goal. He spent a lot of his time practicing and getting ready for tournaments. He works hard to achieve his dream. In 2017, Sulaiman managed to win the second place during the Bahrain Drag Racing Championship. Moreover, Sulaiman has participated in the tournaments in the state of Qatar. During competitions abroad, he made sure his car is safe and ready to drive with speed. Sulaiman enjoys most of his time while preparing his car and checking the needs of it. He likes to make sure that everything in his car is ready for any competition. He does that with love and passion because this is what makes him enjoy. Suleiman has fixed and built his car all by himself. He took his time and followed certain steps of making his own car for a drag race. For instance, he started as a first step with the electricity of the car. Then he applied the gear and engine of the car. Later on, he has switched on his car for a test drive. From there on, Suleiman has been working on improving his car and applying the special accessory it needs. Moreover, Suleiman has won several competitions. This year, Suleiman has won a drag race and earned the first place. In the celebration of National Day and Liberation Day, Suleiman dedicated his win to our beloved country Kuwait. We are proud of you, Suleiman, and we appreciate your hard work.
That was really wonderful report, and thank you for your hard work. And first, welcome back our viewers. We are here continuing our interview with our guest Suleiman Fadel. Suleiman, since you have this wonderful history and this experience, can you tell us how do the drive and drag racers improve their skills in drag racing?
Well, as skills, you can improve them. Of course, it's a mental and a physical sport. Mentally, you have to clear your mind on the time of the race, and even before, when you prepare your car. Don't take shortcuts, think positively and do the right thing. Physically, you have to be fit, getting into the car. You saw how on the report it's not easy to get into the car and get out of the car. Of course, you have to be very careful about this if you're overweight and things like that. You have to manage yourself that you can jump out of the car in case of any emergency quickly. It shouldn't take more than 2 seconds to unstrap yourself and get out of the car. It seems difficult, but trust me, it's when you get used to it, it's easy.
It needs training also, I think.
Yeah, definitely, yes. Getting in the car, if you put any person other than a drag racer, tell him jump into the car, he will take a whole minute just to get inside.
It's going to be uncomfortable for them to get
You have to know,
your
how
angles.
you put yourself into the car and also take yourself out. And usually preparing, it's not just the physical and mental. You have to prepare also the safety factors of the car and the spare parts and get ready for the race, predicting that I will have these problems, so I have to have this much of spare parts and equipment that supports the race.
Of course, I think one of the most important things is usually we can see from the report, it was really it takes a lot of time for you sometimes to work on the cars. There's a lot of details to it. So how do you find the time to manage that?
Well, again, it's not a one-man show, it's the team. So we usually have 2 to 3 days on normal days, without the racing. We put the time 4 to 6 hours a day. We work in the workshop, as you saw, in the report, checking up and upgrading. That's another thing we have to talk about, upgrading the car. It's a technology. It's like the iPhones, like everything. Every day there is a new thing. Every day you have to make your car faster. Otherwise, you will not be competing. Every day there is a new electronics. Before it used to be carburetors, now it's fuel injection. And it keeps on improving. You have to keep yourself updated, technology-wise and part-wise.
So you can keep up with the world, and you can keep up with the drag
especially
races.
keeping your car faster that way.
Definitely.
Which is more fun. Can I do that on my car?
Yes, why not?
I don't, from his reaction, I don't think
street.
he's going to do that, no.
We don't recommend it on the street. It's highly recommended on the tracks.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, a few hundred horsepower.
It's not recommended.
I don't think it's safe to drive that in the
race
streets.
in the track is the right way to do it.
I mean, we're
course.
boys, okay? And we love that sports car, and that goes with a lot of speed, but we don't want to do it only in drag racing. Sometimes you'd like to do some revving on your car on the street.
Fine,
Make some noises.
Fine. I would say, yes, everybody would like that. But believe me, whenever you race at a track, you will get away from the street. You believe in yourself in the track more.
It's better.
It is safer. It is contained. The teamwork, on the street, it's not safe.
It's not safe.
Not safe.
I mean,
at all.
you put yourself in danger, and also the
others,
other people.
yes.
And sometimes, even when you're alone in like an empty street, and you have some crash, God forbid, no one will be there to support you and help you.
Yep.
Except on the track, there's people, there's firefighters, and there's an ambulance, which is better, right?
Yep, definitely. Absolutely.
So we would love to know about your supporters. Who is Salman's biggest supporter?
Of course, the family and friends. Family from all over the family. I wouldn't say only my kids, my everybody, the whole family. Also my friends. Who believes that this sport it's a good sport. It's a teamwork sport. I can't
But
tell
you
you
have
more.
one. You have one person that keeps pushing you up.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
telling
there
you.
is like this one person specifically.
I don't want to say so others might get offended, but I would
Of
say
course.
my biggest daughter. I would say that.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
That's a good answer. It's
But,
a political
but-
answer.
Yeah, you have to be careful from your team when they heard this news.
Well, I truly said it. I can tell you.
Yeah,
that.
they will say, okay, so it's your biggest daughter. Okay, so what about us? They will tell like this. I mean, personally,
But it's his
I say
daughter.
name-
I don't think anyone would mind.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, since like this, then it's okay,
Of
right?
course. And I think, like from what we watched from the video, I think it can be very expensive fixing a drag race car. And you mentioned that you have to be updated with the new technology. There's always new pieces, new things to add up to your car. So when it comes to the finance, how is it? Is it like really expensive?
Well, on the finance part, this hobby or this sport is very expensive. We do get some support. I don't want to say that we're not getting the support. We're getting some support from our club, and sometimes we get it from other parties like sponsorship and things like that. Of course, upgrading a car, it costs a lot. Last upgrade on the car was around $26,000. So I'm sure no one is willing to pay this unless they're getting something. Advertising on the car is a good thing, but still we are in not a fully mature environment that advertisement is something that could be seen on drag racing. So sponsors, they would pay, and we say that they do pay. Our club does pay, but you have to pay from your own pocket. Okay, it is expensive, yes it is. Winning sometimes helps you, get back some of your money, but
not all of it.
No.
Not even 30%. I mean, you just said 26,000,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I thought you said 2,600. It's also expensive. But is it on the whole car, 26,000?
No, it's on the engine only.
Only in the engine?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That is
Whoa.
a lot of money.
I
So
mean,
how
I
much?
can buy a whole Mercedes.
The first time you had to spend like money on the drag race car from your own expense, how much did it cost you?
Well, it depends on how you start building the car. You start with the chassis and then the engine and then the transmission and things like that. It depends on what category you want to be. You can go on this car on the top category as a Pro Mod. So these are very, very expensive cars. But when I started with a smaller car, and then I went to the dragster, the long one. And when I kept on winning, getting the money out of it, I did, I don't use the money out of the race. The racing money is the racing money. So whatever I win, I keep it there. Whatever I get from support, like from the club or from
Sponsorship as
sponsors,
well.
I
You
keep
keep
it
it for the car.
and I had to sell 2 cars to buy this car, so that's how it works. Managing the money within the circle of drag racing. I try not to take from my own pocket to put into it. But again,
Sometimes it
But you
has
do
to.
sometimes.
you have to. Yes,
Yeah.
You have to.
Yes.
So, of course, you have fears as a racer. And for me, if I were you, my biggest fear will be the money thing. But about you, Suleiman, what's your deepest fear as a car racer?
Any drag racer, you will ask him, he will tell you fire and trapped in the car. That's the most dangerous. If you have an accident, God forbids, and you hit the wall and you cannot open the door. So you cannot open the door since the wall is on your side. So you have to jump into the other seat and get out. Thank God you saw the car, it has a self-extinguishing system. But usually that's the fear that we fear, and we get trapped in the car during an accident and it catches a fire.
Of
And
course.
it's rarely that it happens, because all the safety equipment, even the gas tanks, plastic, so all the ignitions are automatically shut down and things like that. So it is safe, but this is what you fear in a race.
Of course. So I think one of the questions I wanted to ask you, especially when it comes to drag racing, how do you manage your time, like with work and with your family and friends? When is the best time for you to do drag race or even practice?
Well, the time is distributed the whole year. Now we finished our racing this year, so from now we start ordering, start upgrading the car, start fixing whatever damage or whatever that needs to be fixed. Maybe some parts, they need to be changed because they're used a lot. So we have to go and change them, upgrade things, and we have some equipments that have an expiry date. The seat belts, they cannot be more than 3 or 5 years old. If they have an expiry date, exactly like food.
I didn't know that about the
How?
seatbelt.
How
That's
there's
interesting.
expired date on this?
It
I
is
think
like
because
that.
it gets torn with time,
Yeah.
with the sunlight and everything.
Yeah. So the gas, it has to be changed every 3 years. The extinguishing gas, the straps, the seat belts has to be changed. The parachutes has to be changed. The brakes has to be changed. Tires has to be changed
So
every year.
that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes it all safe.
But it costs.
Yeah, but it
Costs a lot.
It's really good, and of course we have more questions, but after this report, so stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, as we come back after this one.
The things a person has done make up his or her identity. One of the most important ways to measure your success is by looking at your most important accomplishments. Colleagues, competitors, and the general public can tell how successful a person is by looking at what they have done. Most of the time, it pays off to work hard. Most people think that having a lot to be proud is a sign of a successful life. When you finish a task, you beat problems or other people to achieve something. People have to work together to reach a difficult goal. If help is needed, everyone should be ready to pitch in and work together. There are many ways to reach a goal, but in the end, it's up to you to decide how it will affect your life. Some people want to be rich and well known on their jobs. Some people think that even small wins are good reasons to throw a party. We are all different, so we all think differently about everything. In the end, though, everyone wants to be happy, and everything you do in life will help you to get closer to that goal.
Welcome back, dear viewers. We're back with our guest, Sulaiman. Of course, we'd like to know more about your highlights in this journey. It must have been an amazing experience. There's a lot of highlights. So can you tell us about that?
Well, there is a lot of highlights, but again, I would say only in racing. I don't want to talk about the other highlights, like how we built. Well, actually, let's talk about it. One of the things, during the pandemic, the corona, we built a homemade car in Kuwait. It's a truck. I don't know if we have pictures of it. It was built from scratch, from zero to racing car. We did that during the pandemic, the corona time, and we did race it this year. And it was like the highlight of the races, an old truck, a 97 GMC truck, that was, shining between all the cars. It was one of the highlights. Other highlights of races, I had a race this year where on the starting line, the car did not start. And this where I'm telling you, the team did a great job. They had to take, you saw how they take the front end of the car. We had 3 minutes to take off the front and to get the car starting. And they did that in 3 minutes. and we raced and we took first place on that race.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's wonderful.
That's
also
very
fast.
impressive.
It
You
is.
can tell like the team is really good.
Yep.
But there's something I would love to know about. I've heard that this winter that there was a truck went on drag race, and it was one of a kind, right?
Yep.
It was the first of its kind, and it did wonderful. I mean, how did you felt after this experience when
Well,
it's worked to succeed?
It was a great experience. You know, again, it's when you get the feedback from hearing the fans is the best thing. You know, the ultimate feeling. You know, when you're cheering and when you see them happy and they come and ask you, how did you do that? Could you do that? And you know, we build it from scratch. It's very difficult to make a farm truck into a drag race car. So it was very difficult to do it. But thanks God, we did do it.
It was one
So
of a
would you
kind.
say
Yeah.
that this is like the race that you will never forget?
Well, there is a lot of races I'll never forget, but
But
a
this
race
was one
I
of
will
them.
not forget was in Bahrain. It was on the championship, the last race, and it rained. And they decided to give me the win. And it was against one of my friends. And I told him, now I don't want to take the win this week. Can we wait half an hour till the rain stops? And we'll race. Now I took the first place without racing. And he said, no, let's take the trophies and go home, you know. I said, well, I want to race. If you want to race, we can wait. If you don't want. And then we decided to wait for the rain. So we waited for the rain to stop, and they drained the track. And thanks God, we did win the race. And it was one of the best wins to me that I'm proud that I did race and win it. I didn't take it by time. I won it actually by drag racing my friend. You know, he was one of the best drivers, so it let me feel
Well
good. that-
certified,
yeah.
of
That's
course.
good. But did he feel sad maybe
No,
after
no,
he
no.
lost?
No. Look, when we go to the tree, when I say the tree, the racing start, we are friends. But at the time that the race starts, we're not friends. We're not enemies, but we're not friends.
Competitors.
Competitors. I want to win. He wants to win. And when we win, after we go out, you see us hugging each other, congratulating each other, and happy for each other.
Of course.
And
Because-
you were the driver inside that car, right?
Yeah, because let's explain it this way. You have your own team, the small team, and then you have your bigger team, and then you have your club, and then you have Kuwait team. We were
And all of
racing
them
in
behind
Bahrain.
you.
He is in the same club of mine, Basel Club. He is in the same club. So whoever wins, the club won.
Yes.
But you know, it's always good that you do win. But again, if you won, I would have congratulated him, and that's the sports that makes you feel good, you know, in sport. You know, the ultimate feeling, winning. You know.
Yes, of course. And it was really a pleasure to have you here with us. We really had a lot of information, a lot of fun learning about drag racing. And we're really proud of you and all the achievements you achieved so far. Thank you for being here with
I
us.
appreciate it. Thanks for you. Thanks.
And thank you for being here with us. We would love to know more about you and to know about the things that you loved. But this is the end of our interview. So with that, our viewers, we reached our time. Hope you enjoyed this episode. See you tomorrow and goodbye.
Goodbye.